G'day Spurs fans, Paul the Hotspur hippie here, back in Sydney, out in nature. Birds are a bit tamer here, so hopefully I won't get swooped. I've been doing a bit of the rounds of the Spursosphere, and it's very heartwarming at the moment. I've heard people like Sean Butler on Spurs Talk Show and Ben and Sim, we are Tottenham TV. People who are actually at White Hart Lane when they saw the game. I've spoken to a couple of mates of mine, Dan and John. G'day mates. Who are also there, and it seems to be that people are saying that the atmosphere at the game against Man City was as good, or if not better, than the best atmosphere I've seen there through video, which was the North London derby 2 years ago, but in a different sort of way, a more party sort of way. And I think it just goes down to we're all just feeling what Ange said, a bit of joy at the moment. I also watched Mile High Hotspur's video log of the pub in Colorado and Milwaukee, and the same vibe is there. The same vibe is there. I'm surprised how quickly it's happened. I knew it would happen eventually because I've experienced it myself. When Ange was, especially when Ange was was manager of the Australian national team. There was a lot of naysayers around, and on the subject of naysayers, let me just get into this. I can't remember if it was either Roy Keane or Gary Neville. Some pundit said, and I think this was at half time during the game. You know, it's kind of, who do Tottenham think they are playing football like that? That's arrogant. They're no Man City. You know, as if you're only supposed to play a certain style of football, depending on, I guess, your perceived ability or standing in the game, and this sort of attitude. And I'm not blaming them because they're Man United. You know, they're going to be a bit parochial or whatever. You know, it's all part of the game. They've got a job to do. But this sort of attitude is something that Ange has faced quite a lot in his career, and especially like when he was manager of the Australian youth setup. He wanted to play a certain way. He wasn't given the support. The surroundings to the Australian youth side, the match preparations, all that kind of thing, was beyond his control and was completely woeful. And he did the best he could. Nevertheless, he still insisted on trying to play the beautiful game the way the beautiful game should be played. He did it again when he was manager of the Australian national team. There was all sorts of pressure from the hierarchy, the suits, the people in big padded leather chairs. Oh, we're only Australia. Don't embarrass us. We've got to play like minnows. We can't play expansive football. That's not who we are. And Ange just proved them all wrong. We played well at a World Cup. He got us an Asian Cup out of nowhere, with a team that, I mean, with Mile Jedinak as captain. I mean, they shouldn't have. If you look at them, you think, no, they're not going to win. Be South Korea or Japan, someone like that. But we won it. And he walked away after he qualified us for the, I think it was the 2018 World Cup. He walked away and went off and did his own thing in Japan. But time and time again, people have said, you're not supposed to be playing football this way. That's reserved for, I don't know, the football aristocracy or some old bollocks like that. And to me, it's just very simple. It's Bill Nicholson's phrase, isn't it? I've just seen a massive spider. Actually, I don't know if it's a dangerous one. No, when I say massive, it's actually very tiny, but it's in a web and it's just there. And I just chill, spider. Just chill, man. Bill Nicholson. It's better to fail aiming high than succeed aiming low. Now, do you want to be total football, or do you want to be Sam Allardyce? You know, it's what's the point in playing the game if you're going to stick to some sort of anti-football? I use that term. I'm not saying it's not a legitimate tactic, but I've got an idea of what football is. And I think most Spurs fans out there have got an idea of what football is. You know, football fans like to see exciting football, but we've got a history and heritage of at Tottenham that we should never ever let go, despite what people say, despite where we are in the league, all that rubbish, if we're not aiming to play that exciting, attacking, total fluid brand of football, then what's the point? We might as well just give up and go home. So Ange is doing that. Ange is saying, well, I'm not going to put words in his mouth, but Ange is insisting on playing this style. Whether we're up to it or not, whether we've got the skill is another thing. But we won't know. We won't know if we try and play it safe. We've been playing it safe for 3 years. Oh, nearly snapped the twig there. We've been playing it safe for about 3 or 4 years. It's bored everyone shitless. I've been like totally depressed over watching Tottenham. And along comes Ange Postecoglou, one guy. You know, this is the funny thing about football. You get the right guy, and I've been saying this since like last February, that Ange is the guy, because I've seen him do this so many times before. And, you know, I've got a lot of Australian viewers. They all know what I'm talking about. But it's just so heartening to see all the fans worldwide now. Worldwide. Doesn't matter if you're in N17, Colorado, South Korea, wherever you are, we're all feeling the same thing. I'm feeling it. When I was watching that second half, man, I was bursting out of my skin. And the word is, as Ange said, it's just pure and simple joy. And now and then, you're going to fail doing that, but we're just going to have that feeling inside of us. We're going to have that feeling inside of us. So I like the fact that Ange is doing it his way. I love it. Absolutely love it. I mean, I'm not going to compare it to Bill Nicholson, but there is a breed of football manager, a straight-talking, simple kind of football manager that nowadays doesn't come along very often. I think it's because everyone's super coached. Everyone's, you know, into their tram lines and tactics, and I'm not saying that doesn't have a place. But when you have a manager that simplifies it, and I'm talking of the likes of, you know, Matt Busby, Bill Nicholson, Bill Shankly, Brian Clough, you know, Keith Birkinshaw, I wouldn't say any of these are master tacticians. If you hear their ex-players talk about, you know, team talks and tactics, these very, very successful big teams hardly ever considered the opposition, hardly ever adapted their game or had more tactics than you could write on the back of a fag packet. It was very, very simple message. And yesterday at halftime, Ange, he said he just showed them a couple of clips of like that last 10 minutes of the first half where things were almost coming right. And he just showed them, look, if you just do that, we will be so much better. And look at the result in the second half. You know, it was incredible. So I'm enjoying this ride so far, and I'm seeing and hearing and feeling it in my heart that a lot of Spurs fans out there and a lot of neutrals out there are enjoying what they're seeing at White Hart Lane. And you know, the atmosphere at the new stadium has been criticised, but really, what have we had to sing about? Not a lot, really. Whereas straight away, we've got hope, we've got joy, we've got eye-popping moments. Basuma, Sarr, Madison, Van der Ven, Romero. It's like we've got a bloody good side now, haven't we? And I could see, this is just the beginning. It's just the beginning. You know, it's only going to get better. And when I say get better, the feeling, the togetherness is going to improve. Results, we might slip a few. Who knows, man? Who knows? We've got a few easy on paper, easy fixtures, 3 in a row, plus that cup game in the middle against Fulham. But after those 3-4 fixtures, we could be in a damn good position. And we're going to surprise a lot of people this year. And this is why I'm saying we're still going for the Premier League title. We're still going for the FA Cup. We're still going for the League Cup. We're going to go for them as to maximum of our capacity. But we're going to do it trying to play a fantastic brand of football. And that's the main thing. And it's this brand of football, the way Ange wants to play the game and the way the players are buying into it, that's what's going to buy us success. And if we just fall short, or if we don't get the rub of the green here and there, it don't matter, because we know what we're trying to do. We've got an identity now. We've got our bloody identity back. That's the main thing. And I'm proud to be a Spurs fan. I've always been proud to be a Spurs fan, but I'm 10 foot tall. This is like 1 or 2 days later after the Man United game. I'm still buzzing with excitement because I've taken time now this morning to watch a few other Spurs fans videos, and I'm just feeling pumped, and I'm just so happy for them. I'm happy for you. Bugger it, I'm happy for me. I'm happy for my daughter that we're gonna have a beautiful experience of football and togetherness, because you know this is Hotspur Hippie. Remember, it's not Hotspur Hopkins, it's Hotspur Hippie, and it just shows us that we've got much more in common than we have that divides us. And you know, that's what I love about football. It is the world game, it is a beautiful game, it brings people together, even in opposition. Even in opposition, it brings us together because we're all cheering for our sides to do well. And you know, that's got to be good for the world. More football and you get less guns, man, I'm telling you. Anyway, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna, a bit later, I'm gonna do a stream. I'm gonna do some player ratings. Thanks to everyone that's been clicking and subscribing and you know, just following this along with me. It's a real, I get a real kick thinking that there's people out there that are spending 5-10 minutes of the day and they like to watch me just as I like to watch other people. It's really kind of cool. I'll never take it for granted. Memberships and super chats are available and all that sort of stuff. Whatever, keep the channel going if you want to support it. But I'm here for the long haul. Well, I've been here for the long haul already, and I can't wait to the next game. I can't wait to the next game and seeing, you know, this. We're going to be like that, man. We're going to be like that. We're going to surprise people this year. Come on, you Spurs. Come on, you. What it? Peace and love, man. Can't even get my own outro right. There we go. Peace and love, man. Peace and love. And come on, you Spurs.